guys, welcome to my channel, Astro Joys. If you are not a subscriber, go ahead and press that subscribe button below. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys a story time about the time me and my roommate got into a almost fight. It was crazy, y'all. Just to let you guys know, this story happened a long time ago. Everything I'm telling you guys right now is my perception of what happened. She may have a different perception, but this is just my perception. Me and the girl that I'm talking about now, we're cool, we're friends, we're fine. You know, there's nothing wrong. That's just something that happened in the past, and it's honestly just something that you just can't live with everybody. Everybody's not meant to live together, you know. So this story does include a lot of drama. So I know everybody, you know, hopefully you guys are chilling at home, staying at home, doing your parts, please. If you're not, what you doing? Also, you guys, I just recently did my hair. I'm not really feeling it, but it is what it is. I'm trying to have my hair grow out, so I'm gonna be wearing braids for my birthday. So this is the style that I did. It's alright. I don't know. I'm just not. It's alright. I don't know. So anyway, let's get into this story time. If you have some popcorn, some snacks, some chips, whatever, go ahead and get that, cause this is gonna be an interesting one. Let's go. So this story goes back to when I was in college. I was basically living in an apartment with 3 other girls, so it was me and my 3 roommates. Now, all of us knew each other before moving into our apartment, and we literally we were pretty cool. We didn't have any issues before that. One of the girls I was really close to. The other girl, I would see her in public or at events, and we would always talk. You know, we would hang out here and there. And the other girl I barely knew, but I've met her a couple times. So basically, that's the dynamic of the roommates. So, you know, we moved in together, everything was fine, we had a pretty nice place. Each of us had our own bedroom, we all had our own bathroom, so we didn't have to share anything like that. Only thing we shared was the kitchen, the living room, and the dining room area, and like the washer dryer. So we lived together, you know, and everything was smooth, we didn't have too many issues, but here's the things that would happen. Well, I felt like one of my roommates, the one that I was somewhat like, I knew her, but we weren't super close. I felt like she was picking on me throughout the time of me living there. And this is why I say that. There would be times where people would leave certain things out on the counter, or people would leave their shoes in the middle of the floor. And she will always come to my room and say, Ashley, you left this, or Ashley, you did this. And I'm like, oh, that's not mine, so I didn't do that. But it was like she would always only come to me first. I'm not sure if it's because the roommate that I was close to, that was her very close best friend. So I'm not sure if that's why. Maybe she just assumed that it was me because she didn't really know me like that for real. But she always assumed that it was me. There was one instance where I would always forget to turn the stove off. And the reason is because our stove had 2 knobs. One that you turn the temperature, and the other that you press on, off, or broil. Now, when I grew up, our oven, you only had 1 dial. And it was one for the oven, and then the other dials are for the fire. So I was just so used to just pressing that 1 dial off that when we lived in this apartment, I was so used to just twisting it to 0 that I always thought I turned the stove off, but apparently I didn't. And I would always forget to twist that other knob. So she would always come knock on my door and say, Ashley, you're forgetting to turn off the stove. You keep forgetting to turn off the stove. You're going to cause a fire. You keep forgetting to turn off the stove. And to be honest with you, she was right. Like, there's something that was wrong. I kept forgetting. So I had to do something about that. So what I ended up doing was I took a sticker and I stuck it on the stove and I taped it to it. A very small piece that said, Ashley, don't forget to turn off the oven. And it wasn't the stove. I'm sorry. It was always only the oven. I never forgot to turn off the stove. It was always the oven. So I put the sticker next to the oven thing. Don't forget to turn off the oven. Because I use the oven a lot. I baked everything. I baked my french fries. I baked pizza rolls when I used to eat those. I baked everything. You know, I baked, like, if I had asparagus, I would bake it. So I was always baking. Always putting something in the oven. On top of the stove as well, but mainly the oven, and the stove always turned off. So that was one thing she was always complaining to me about. It was just always something. I felt like it was always something. Every week, every day, it became to the point where the tension started to build a little bit because I felt like she was coming to my door so much to the point where it was like always something always. So there were other people who was telling me like, yeah, she was talking about you behind your back, she was talking about this and that. And to be honest, I don't even remember what they said, because to be honest, even when they told me, I really didn't care. But it was things that she was saying about me behind my back, and I never talked about her behind her back before the situation. So it just made me feel like, that's weird. Why is she even saying anything about me? One of our mutual friends came to me and was like, yeah, she basically looked like she picking on you. Like, even when I'm over there, I feel like I see that it's like, and you're just being way too nice. I would say something. And to be honest, I was being way too nice. I sat there and let her talk a lot of stuff, and I was just sitting there like, whatever, I don't care. Whatever, I don't care. But I should have said something, but I didn't. So let's fast forward through the year. So the year goes through, whatever, it is what it is. One day, I'm in my room, and my other roommate, who I wasn't really close to at all, I mean, I became close to her, like, throughout us living together, but before we moved in. So the roommate who I really didn't know, she was right next to my room, because it was 2 rooms on each side of the apartment. So she was right next to my room. Like, we had the same, like, we shared the same wall. So one day I'm like literally walking out my room, and I hear my name. I swear it was like the weirdest thing. As soon as I'm walking, I hear Ashley. And I'm just like, and our walls are so thin, I can hear everything. So I'm like, what you saying about me? Like, why you saying my name? So I go over to the door, and I ain't gonna lie, I was being nosy as hell. I sure did. I heard my name, so I want to know what you saying. Would you about me? Like, what I do? So I want to hear it. So I put my ear to the door, and I hear the girl who was always complaining about me saying something about me. And I don't know what she was saying. I just heard her saying, yeah, something. I don't remember. I just remember the girl who I wasn't too close to was like, you should talk to her. You should tell her. So I knocked on the door, and I said, boom, boom, boom. Hello? The door, and they was like, yes. I'm like, yeah, I hear you guys saying my name. Is there something that you want to say? That's what I said. So the roommate that I kind of knew, she comes out and she says, yes, actually I do. I want to say, like, and I remember she was saying something about I was leaving the kitchen messy and yada yada blah. And I'm like, first of all, I don't know if you realize I'm a neat freak. I'm a germaphobe. I typically clean after behind myself 90% of the time that I cook something. Now the other 10% may be like times where I'm like rushing out the door. Maybe I made a snack. Maybe I made a little mess, but I knew I was gonna come back and clean it up. But that was rare. That was very rare, because I was always early for everything. I wake up extra early just to get to the bus, just to get to class 15, 20 minutes early every single day. I was always the first one in class, but I was always the first one up. So I'm just like, there's no way that was me, that always leave the stuff that you're talking about. So we ended up getting into a slight debate about that. And I'm just like, I really don't know what you're talking about. I know sorry, excuse my niece if she's crying in the background. My brother. So I'm basically saying to like my roommate, like, yeah, I typically keep the room in the place clean. Like, I'm always the one coming home from class, and I was always cleaning up. I was cleaning up almost after so many of my roommates that it was crazy. And I don't think they realized it, because I don't think I gave them time to clean up after themselves. Because the way we grew up, you do not go to sleep with dishes in the sink. You keep the kitchen clean. Like, that's the things that we did. My grandma made us do that. So whenever I would clean, if there's dishes in the sink, I put everything away. Why would I just put my one dish away? If it's other dishes, I'm going to put it all away. At least that's how I was raised. That's how I was thinking. That's how I was brought up. And it was never a big deal. It was never anything I thought about. So we'll talk back to that in a second. So anyway, I think she didn't realize that I was cleaning up behind everybody. It came to the point where I was literally even cleaning up one of my roommates' rooms all the time, which I did on my own. I was always in her room. We was always like she literally like had a DVD player. So I was always like watching movies in there with her. We would have like girls' night. My other friends would come over. We would have girls' nights in her room. And so because she was so generous and always letting us come in her room, I didn't mind cleaning up her room or straightening up her bed. Like, I didn't mind that. I never went through any of her stuff. I always just made her room look neat. And also when she would leave home, she was always really busy. I wanted to loosen that load on her. She was busy. She was doing like internships. She was really busy. And so I didn't mind the times I had free time cleaning up. It was actually very therapeutic to me. So she was super grateful for that. And she's such an amazing person. Anyway, all that to say, those are the type of things that was happening. So we ended up having our exchange of words. And I just, at that point, I felt like I didn't really truly, I wasn't really like, I can tell that me and her was not going to click, because one, you talking about me behind my back, and two, you're making up stuff that you don't have facts on. You're just saying things based on what you think, but you're not right, right? That's how I was feeling, like, you're not right. So after that, I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, this girl clearly don't like me, or she has some type of issues with me, and I'm not the only one who can see this. There was other people who would come to my house who would see it, other people who would tell me. So, and I'm not going to say I was 100% innocent either in the situation, but it's just for the most part, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't really doing anything. I genuinely wasn't. I'm the type of person where if I'm doing something, I don't feel bad to admit to shit that I'm doing or to stuff that I did wrong. Like, I'm going to say, hey, I could have did this better. I shouldn't have did this. I shouldn't have did that. Or, whatever. And this situation, for the most part, I wasn't really doing anything wrong other than the fact that I did keep forgetting to turn the stove off for the most part. But I did get better at that because I was used to looking at my little sticker and I would never really forget. Anyway, let's fast forward. So that's one of the things, another thing that happened. So now let's fast forward to the day when everything hits, when hits the fan. This is where the drama started. So I found out around this time, this is right around finals, that no, this wasn't finals, I'm sorry, this is right around midterms. I found out that my dad had cancer. Well, I knew he had cancer, but I found out that it came back. So, you know, at the time I was kind of like distraught about it, and I was upset about it, and I was really just trying to process everything, but at the same time I was trying to study and just kind of keep my mind, you know, off of it. So one day, me and my friend, the one who I was the closest to in the apartment, me and her were sitting in the living room studying. She knew about everything. And to be honest, when things happen, I'm the type of person where I'm just kind of quiet. I'm to myself. You know, I don't really like to talk about deep stuff. Like that was a problem that I had. And I'm learning through therapy to like not be like that, but that's how I was. So studying was my method to cope. So me and my friend was studying for finals. I keep saying finals, for midterms. So we studying. And so me and her studying, and my roommate comes in the house. This is where everything gets crazy. Let's go back. I forgot. So this was during midterms. I took a midterm this day, so I got out of class early. I got to my apartment. I cleaned up the entire kitchen. I was stressed out, and I clean when I'm stressed. Cleaned the entire kitchen. I remember I literally scrubbed the floor. I was on my knees scrubbing the floor because we didn't have a mop, and I was scrubbing it because it was dirty. When I tell you that kitchen was spotless, my other roommate who I was close to when she came in the house, she's like, dang, who cleaned up? I was like, me. She's like, oh my gosh. She was like, you know, she was like, it was spotless, because it was. But the one thing I didn't do was take out the trash. I put all the trash in the trash area, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired. I have to finish studying for my other set of finals that I have in the morning. So somebody else can take out the trash since I did everything else. My other roommate who I was pretty close to said she would take it out later, or take it out in the morning before she take her final. I said, okay, cool, perfect. So I didn't think nothing of it. We decide to study together, and we go into the other room, we study. So this particular roommate comes in, the other one, she comes in and she walks in the kitchen. Me and my other roommate are in the living room. I can hear everything from the kitchen because it's pretty open. She walks in there and she says, oh my gosh, somebody cleaned up. It looks really good in here. Then she says, and I hear her, she's like, but why wouldn't they take out the trash? And I said from the living room, somebody else could take out the trash. I cleaned up the whole kitchen. She said, what? And I said it again. And she said, what again? And I said it loud. And I wasn't necessarily having an attitude, but I was kind of irritated because she kept saying what. And I'm like, I said I cleaned up the kitchen. And I think that's when she really heard me. So she just assumed that I was having an attitude, but it wasn't. I was saying it loud so one, she can hear me. And two, she asked like 3 times. So I was like, you know, blah, 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 blah. Like somebody else can take out the trash. And then she gets so upset. I don't know if she was just stressed out, but she was just like, you know what? We need to talk about this because this kitchen, matter of fact, we need to have a group. We need to, and I'm just like, what the like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, cause she went from just like, it went from the trash to we need to have a house meeting. And I said, I'm not having a house meeting. Like, I'm in the middle of studying for my midterm. And I just don't, I'm not in the mood. Now, mind you, I already wasn't in the mood because of the stuff I found out about my dad. And then now she's coming in and being super ungrateful. That's how I looked at it. And now you want to have a house meeting and I'm not in the mood. So I already know right now is not the time for me to have a house meeting. She's like, yes, a lot of things we need to talk about. We need to get this together. I said, no. Not today. I said, maybe tomorrow, but just not today. I'm just not in the mood. And she's like, no, we need to have this now. Like, this cannot wait. I said, no, I'm not in the mood. I'm not participating. So she goes and knock on the door of the other girl, the one who's in my room. So now all 4 of us are in the living room, and me and my other roommate sitting there still studying. And she's like, yeah, we need to have a group meeting. We need to talk. I said, y'all can't. I'm not participating because I just said I'm not in the mood. I have a lot going on and I just don't feel like it. At this point, she does not know about my dad. I didn't bring it up. I didn't want to talk about it. At the end of the day, if I'm telling you I'm not in the mood, it shouldn't matter. I just know right now is not the time. So you should respect that. At least that's how I feel. So she decides to just whatever, have the meeting, whatever, while I'm still sitting there studying. So I'm like, you know what? Y'all can talk about it. I'm not going to be participating. I'm going to continue to sit here and study. So they're talking about everything, about the house and how it's not always clean and how people are leaving shoes at the door, how people are leaving food at the counter and all this other stuff. And then she's like, I heard her say, like, it must be, what'd she say? Like, whatever she was saying. And whatever she was saying, you know, she was making it seem like it was one person piling everything up. Now, even though I said I wasn't participating, I didn't agree. So I was like, hello, over here, excuse me. I would like to say there's 4 of us in this house. There's 4 bowls, 4 spoons, 4 plates, 4 knives, 4 whatever. If you take one thing and everything adds up, it's going to add up and pile up in the sink. I said, but for the most part, we all keep everything clean. But it's midterm time. Usually our place was pretty decent, but it would be little things, like little things. And I'm like, most of the time our place is neat and it's clean, but obviously during finals, everybody, or midterms, everybody's rushing out in and out the door. Sometimes they might leave stuff in the sink and they're going to clean it up later. I'm like, just like today, I seen a lot of people stuff in the sink, but I assumed y'all was going to come and clean it later, but I did it anyway because I was already cleaning. So she's like, well, no, that's not how it works. We need to clean behind ourselves. Like, everybody need to do their own stuff. And like, she just had an attitude about that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I just ignore. They still keep talking. They talk. And then she says something like out of side pocket, because I was like, she was like, well, it must be you if you know, because this didn't make no sense to me, because she said, because I wasn't complaining, I must be the problem. But because I was never the one complaining, that must mean that I was the one who was doing it. I mean, that somewhat makes sense, but it's, what the fuck, like, that don't make, like, no, like, I wasn't complaining because I didn't have an issue because I was doing it. Like, what? So we ended up arguing somehow. I don't remember details. I just remember somehow me and her ended up arguing. And I'm not talking about like, no, I mean, like, we about to fight. Like, she's like talking. She almost like she about to get up and get in my face. I'm about to get up and get in her face. I said, I don't know why. She was like, why you looking like something? She just said, I don't remember, y'all, the word. This was like 8 years ago. But we end up arguing, and she's saying all this stuff about me, and I'm saying this stuff about her, like how I don't feel like talking, and you trying to make somebody fucking talk, and I'm like cussing. Like, I'm cussing. Like, usually I'm quiet and chill. Nah, I'm lying. More like reserved. I'm not usually cussing nobody out unless you really push me to that point. And then it's like the whole Detroit side of me is like, it comes out. I swear, it's like I'm a whole new person. And so she's saying some things, and all of a sudden I find myself going at it. Like, we going at it. We arguing, and everybody like, whoa, like so that, like, y'all need to stop, like, trying to calm us down. But at this point, we too far gone. I don't hear anything. She don't hear anything. And she said something to me. And then, like, something like she was gonna she was gonna like do something, like we about to, like, she gonna hit me or something. She ain't say that, but it was something that she said that was kind of like that's what she was about. So I'm like, I wish you would. I'm like, put your hands on me and we'll see what happened. Like, then we arguing, and like all of a sudden I get up, she get up, and I just get so frustrated. And I'm just like, you know what? Like, I'm like, we cussing and arguing and we calling each other's name. I'm like, you fucking taking me out of my character. I told you I did not want to talk about this. I told you I wasn't in the mood. I told you I got a lot going on. I said, this ain't shit. Like, I'm literally screaming at the top of my lungs. I'm like, my fucking dad has cancer. You think I'm gonna fuck about no fucking dishes? I don't give a fuck about this shit. And then I took I had my big old book, and I was doing child psychology, the pediatric class. And it was like a lot of work in that class. It was like the cognitive part, or cognitive or whatever, and like I had all this medical stuff, all this, like, this big thick book of information I had to learn. It was so much. Our study guide was like literally a big folder full of stuff. So I took this folder, and I was so angry, and I just threw it on the floor, and there was like hundreds of papers all over the floor. And I was like, I don't want to fucking talk about this shit. Like, I'm cussing. I'm like, and I told you that, and you don't want to listen. And I'm like, you know what? And I just get so angry, I just throw it, and I go into my room, because I knew if I stayed there, I was going to end up punching her in her face, and I did not want to be out of character. So I go in my room, I pack all my stuff, I'm shaking, I'm upset, and I just pack everything. I put my earphones in my ear, and I turn it up really, really loud. And as I'm walking out, I see her mouthing something, so I turn my music down, and she says, bye. And I'm just like, I'm about to beat out of you. Like, don't say shit to me. Like, that's how I felt. Lord forgive me, but that's how I felt. I walk out the apartment complex, and I leave out my I leave out my apartment, and I go outside. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know nothing. I just know I need to get out of here because I'm about to end up fighting her. So I end up going to my friend Jamisha. Hey, Misha. I end up going to her house. I'm knocking on her door. Now, her and my other friend, who's pretty close, they had the same class. They were going to actually be doing a study together after me and my other roommate got done studying. She was going to leave from our place to hers. So she thinking I'm her. So she knocked on the door. She opened the door. She's like, like, I wasn't expecting you. I thought you was such and such. I'm like, no. And I tell her what happened. And she's like, she says what she says. And, you know, and she was like, you can stay here if you want. And then I ended up going, like just being there, just calming myself down. I was so angry. And, you know, I'm just like trying to just like calm myself down, because I'm like, right now, this is not the time. Like, my dad is sick, and I'm over here, you know, we don't even know, like, if it spreads his blood. Like, I'm just over here, like, I have other things to worry about than about a dang dish. So after that, I come home like the next day, we didn't talk to each other. We seen each other. We walked right past each other like every day for like months. Like this happened like in March or something, around the time when midterms were. We didn't talk until her graduation. And the only reason we talked was because I was the one who initiated it. Because before then, we would walk right past each other. We didn't say nothing to each other for months. We just act like neither one of us existed. So, and I didn't have any issue with anybody before in my life. So the fact that that happened, it was just so weird. Excuse my eyelashes. It looks weird, but whatever. So I didn't have any issue with anybody else before this. So I was just kind of like, it's just so weird to me. I wasn't used to having drama. I don't do drama. So this is just really weird. So one day she's getting ready to, like, this is during her graduation. She's a year ahead of me. And some of you guys may know who I'm talking about, because some of y'all might figure this out just because of the fact that I'm like kind of like everything I'm saying is like clues to like who it is. Just know I don't have any issue with her now. Like I actually like don't have a problem with her. I just don't think we were meant to live together. That's it. Like I said, this is my perception of what happened. And it did happen so long ago that obviously there might be details I'm forgetting, but whatever. So this is just for the purpose of the story. Everything that I'm saying is truth to what I remember. So anyway, but yeah. So I remember this vividly though. Like this felt like it happened yesterday. She was getting ready for graduation. She looked really pretty, and I'm not a hater. So I was like, oh, you look cute. That's what I said. I kind of broke the ice. And she's like, thanks. And then she was going out of the door. And when she went out the door, before she walked out, I said, hey, I need to talk to you. And she's like, okay, just give me a second. I got to finish getting ready. So she finished getting ready, and then she comes out. She said, okay, I'm ready to talk. I said, I'd like to talk to you in person. So we go, one-on-one. So we go outside into our, before you come into the door, to the hallway. Like before you even come to the door to the apartment. So we go to the hallway, and I'm like, say, look, I just wanted to let you know, I know we're obviously not friends. Obviously we had our issue. We had our fallout, which is fine. You know, everybody's not meant to be friends. Everybody's not meant to like each other, or whatever the case may be. But I just want you to know, I don't hold grudges. I don't believe in holding grudges. I believe God's love is greater than anything that can happen in this world. And I think that life is too short for all of that. I was like, I just want you to know we were friends before, obviously. And I am still proud of you. You're clearly about to graduate. You know what I'm saying? That's an amazing thing. I was like, and so you should be proud of yourself. I'm proud of you, whether we're friends or not. I really am. I was like, you look beautiful. I was like, and we don't have to be friends. We don't have to talk. We don't have to none of that. I said, but I just want to at least be cordial so that it's not this weird like tension in the house. Like, and she was like, she felt the same way. So we both agreed to just like kind of like let what happened go and just move forward, just being cordial. We didn't have to be friends. We can at least be cordial. So that's how we left it. And she graduated and everything was good from there. You know, like that was that. Like whenever we would see each other, we would say hey until we like all moved out the apartment. It was cool. It was nothing. And then so from there we were just cool. We wasn't friends by any means, but we definitely weren't like hating each other anymore. At least not on my end. So that happened. They graduate, they leave the apartments, and then I didn't see her again. Fast forward 2 years later, you know, they had a party at her and my other roommates. They had an apartment together. They had like a New Year's party. I went there and we celebrated. Me and her had some really deep conversations. I mean, everything was cool. And now we're cool. Like we're friends. Like I won't say like we talk all the time, but on social media we interact. I don't have anything against her. Everything that happened in the past, I really don't care about. We were just young and learning, you know. That's how I look at it. It was just so stupid when I look back. The whole situation was just really, really a learning experience. So anyway, that was a time when me and my roommate was about to get into this huge fight. If you ever had a situation like this happen before, or you in a roommate clash or just anything like that, comment below. Tell me. I want to hear your story. And have you ever gotten into something like this with somebody before, but let bygones be bygones and y'all cool now? Like, let me know. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Don't forget to be the love in the world that you want to see. I know right now there's a lot of difficult things happening in the world, so let's definitely band together and bond and love each other right now from a distance, of course, and stay home and just try to do our part with flattening the curve. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.